Hey, how's it going, everyone? It is My Guy Knows a Guy, NBA Betting Today, SportX Inside's YouTube channel. It's a pretty busy Saturday. I hope everyone's enjoying their day with their families. Hopefully you have some time off. I know some people are at work. Everyone's got their thing going on. What's going on, Vic, Mario, Trey, Marcelo, Diojo, Anthony, James, HD, Raniel? How's it going, everyone? Eric, Joseph. Yep. How's it going? Hope you guys are feeling great. Just over here enjoying my time watching this Alabama-Georgia game. I have some money on Alabama today. Took a bit of a risk, although that's pretty strange to say with Nick Saban. We're talking about the greatest coach of all time. Let's see how this second half goes, if Georgia can get over the hump. But we're here for NBA picks today, NBA props. I think yesterday was mixed results. Some of my main plays didn't hit, but it may just have been a case of too many plays. There are a lot of things that I said on the show that I did not bet on myself. Maybe some people did. Hopefully you found some value in what we had to share yesterday. Let's continue. You can't win every day. That's why I preach responsibility with your betting size, with your the size of your bets. And just because you win maybe 4 or 5, even 6 bets in a row, which was the case the previous day, you don't bet the kitchen sink on one bet. I firmly believe in my system and my style of picking. I'm going to remain disciplined. We're going to achieve results long term. So today I'm going to tighten it up. A few less plays. The schedule is not, obviously there aren't as many plays, but yesterday it was pretty interesting. Underdogs went 8-1 ATS yesterday. They went 8-1 ATS, and it was a really interesting night in the NBA. So we'll just move on to today, and I'll pull up the odds for today. We have a few games, and I have some picks to share. We're going to ride some more 3-point props, and I have 2 plays today as well. So we're going to go through the games. While you're here, hit the like button for me. It is Saturday. I know everyone's busy. I'm going to stay as long as I can. But if Georgia somehow ties the game, I might just get out of here. But I'm going to give out all the information to let you know all the bets that I placed. While you're here, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe if you're watching on Twitter. Let's go. Pulling up the odds on sportx.bet and some of the late information as well for the injuries as well. We know Luka and Porzingis are out today. They hit us with that around 1 p.m. I have some thoughts on that game as well. This is a very unpredictable Memphis Grizzlies team. Their schedule has been, look at their schedule, the ease of their schedule and how it's coincided with John Morant being out. You know, they got to play the Kings, then the Raptors, then the Thunder. Now the 2 stars for the Mavericks are not playing. So, you know, it's possible the Grizzlies could go 4-0, but I have some thoughts on that game. I'll get to it. I'm just going to go in order. We'll start off with the Bulls and the Nets, which, judging by this card, we already have a game that's done. Shout out to Jokic. This is the marquee game of the night, obviously. Let me know what you guys are playing in the chat as well. Appreciate the support. I wish Caruso was playing. We ride his steals prop again, everyone. We're going to take that maybe 6 out of 7 games, depending on the matchup, if it's a weak perimeter matchup. So let's move on. We have the Nets and the Bulls. Last night we cashed fading the Nets. Pretty surprising spot because the T-Wolves still pulled it out without Karl Anthony Towns. This Nets team appears to be playing down to their competition, something they did last year for a large stretch of games without Kyrie Irving, actually. So looking into today's game, the Bulls, I'm just going to say it, after the first quarter of the season, the Bulls have been the better team. Betting performance, they've been the better team. We all know that they've been printing money left and right. I think the total in this game might be a little bit too high, but when you have a combustible, the potent force of Vucevic, Levine, DeRozan playing the way they are, it's difficult for me to endorse the under, although my system is telling me to take the under in this game. I just want to share that with everyone. It's been difficult with these Nets games in terms of the pace of play because they're essentially putting out not different lineups, but they're tinkering as they go along. Steve Nash is taking an experimental approach to the season because he knows he can rely on the star power of Kevin Durant and James Harden as a crutch. So we're seeing these sleepy spots against teams like the T-Wolves, you know. But if you read into the reports, they're saying that they've been anticipating this game. We know these teams just played a couple of weeks ago in Chicago. The Bulls went crazy, okay? The Bulls went crazy without Vucevic that day. Without Vucevic. He was in the protocols. I lean towards the Bulls in this game. I didn't bet it. My plays, all my plays, I have about 5 or 6 plays. They come in the other games, but I just want to say that I lean towards the under. I think that it's an absolute necessity for the Brooklyn Nets to try to slow this game down because this Bulls team will overwhelm them. Will overwhelm them with their scoring efficiency. DeMar DeRozan has been unstoppable at this point. Vucevic is a clear mismatch for this team. Vucevic is a clear mismatch. I can zoom in and tell you guys some of the prop leans that I did have for this matchup before we move on to Bucks Heat. And let me know how you feel about this Nets team and whether you think what I'm saying is true with them playing down to their competition. I mean, look, last night we cashed a T-Wolves ticket without Karl Anthony Towns playing. No killer instinct on this Nets team. No energy in the stadium. But let's just see how it goes. Sometimes when you have star power like Kevin Durant and James Harden, they'll get up for these sorts of games. Maybe they just didn't want to show up defensively against the T-Wolves without their best player. And shout out to everyone in the chat. I'm just going to move a little bit faster. I'm going to move past this game. I'll give you guys a couple of plays that I would play if you're looking for plays in this game. I didn't bet on this game, but I'm getting a couple questions about it. So let me just zoom in on the Nets side. I actually tried, so I'm not going to force anything. Don't blame me, all right? But I do think there might be value in Kevin Durant's threes tonight. It's a bit worrisome that it shows you a lack of aggression. You're a mismatch nightmare, Kevin Durant. You're an alien, okay? And you only attempt 1 3-pointer against the Timberwolves without Karl Anthony Towns, another lengthy defender to try to match you on the perimeter. Okay? And you went 0 for 1. You dropped a 30-piece, but the lack of aggression is what I'm talking about. Let it fly, KD. Let it fly. I think we could see that KD today. It's possible he was saving it. Now, he did get to the free throw line 13 times. This is not an endorsement of his points prop against this Bulls team. Although, they need some of their defenders. I think Javonte Green as well has entered protocols. Alex Caruso, I'm going to pull up some updates on Alex Caruso in a second, but it wasn't looking good for Alex Caruso right before I came on the show. So, Cam Thomas is available to play. James Johnson is now questionable. He's been a role player for them. Let me pull up something about. I'm looking at Underdog right now. Paul George not on the injury report as well. It looks like Paul George will play. We're going to get to Paul George in a second. King Dre said he loves the Nets to win today. I don't think that's a bad bet, but I just feel like with that short line, right? It could be to entice people to bet on the Nets because there's such a name brand with Kevin Durant. But it's definitely respect for the Bulls as well. A case can be made for both teams in this game, but the Bulls are a bit undermanned when it comes to some of their perimeter pieces. Maybe look at Lonzo Ball. It's super juiced, though. It's minus 170 for 2.5. It crosses the threshold. 3-point props, I'm not playing them if they're above minus 150. Even the ones that hover around minus 130, minus 140, I tend to not want to play them. But I do think that we could see something from Lonzo Ball today. That's not one of my official plays that I will be sharing, but just continuing the 3-point props. We had a bit mixed results yesterday, but we're hitting 3-point props at a very high rate, and it's something that I'm keying in on. So I'm a firm believer in not fixing something if it's not broken, okay? We had a couple of spots that didn't come through yesterday. Reggie Jackson did not come through. Spencer Dinwiddie did not come through as well. He is banned for the lack of professionalism that he showed yesterday. I don't care if it's just one game, but overall, I feel confident playing these 3-point props going forward. So let's lock in while we're cashing. You never know when they can be over-adjusted. And shout out to the betting army. Maybe Lonzo threes, maybe KD threes in this one. I think Vucevic has been watching a lot of Valanciunas tape, or just hearing a lot of what Valanciunas is doing for a big body center like him. Although he's much bigger, JV's much bigger. Attempting 6+ threes. Is this going to be a trend? Next, we're going to start seeing Steven Adams start to attempt 1 or 2 threes a game. One second, let me send a message, everyone. Yeah, sorry about that. And yeah, some people are about to come over in a second. In like 10 minutes, I might have to open the door and come right back. Excuse everyone if you guys think it's a lack of professionalism or whatever, but it's Saturday, watching Georgia, Alabama. So yeah, King Dre said he likes Nets to win today. What else do you guys think? Travis, we're going to get to PG. That's a little teaser right there. We're going to get to PG today because I really believe if he really was hurt, he would just rest against the Kings again. But it's an arms race in the West. He might be playing with the pain tonight. We're going to get to PG and the Kings. Have a couple of ideas for that game in the 10 o'clock game. What's going on, Danny, my guy? Let's go. Shout out to Danny, my guy. He was here in the chat yesterday. Dropped that Patty Mills over 12.5. We bet all the time. That's my bro. That's my bro from Chicago. He's going crazy. He's going crazy. I should put the Bulls hat on. It's over there on the table. I should put the Bulls hat on. No? And apologies to everyone yesterday. I put on I don't really get into superstition like that, but someone did joke about the OKC hat that I was wearing yesterday and the dip in performance when I wore the OKC hat. I was trying to show the Thunder some love. I was trying to show the Thunder some love. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. If you guys followed me on Twitter, you know. I apologize because I wasn't home last night. I was going to make a video for the Alabama game. That was my pick. That was my pick. Giannis has been ruled out. Giannis has been officially ruled out. He was doubtful against the Heat. Everyone, they just said it. Giannis is ruled out. See if you can catch some lines. I think that the Bucks can get the win, though. The money line win, it's, without the Heat. It's not really saying too much, but let's see what the line is now. It might have already been priced in because the Heat are also undermanned, severely undermanned. Can't fade Nick Saban. Can't fade Nick Saban. I'm going to tell you guys right now, and my friends, they know this. They know this about me. The game is not over. This game is not over, okay? But, one, I loaded up on this game. Everyone that knows me know this. I loaded up on Alabama today, far more than normal, plus 6.5. And two, I feel like I really know Nick Saban like the back of my hand. When to take him and when to go against him. Like it's weird. It's really weird. And I'm gonna tell you guys the script in this game. College football is trying to recoup their lost revenue from last year. Georgia and Alabama will play again. Let me get back to the NBA show. Apologies to everyone, especially the people outside the U.S. that don't give a damn about college football. Let's go. I'm just letting you guys know that Georgia and Alabama will play again in the national championship. Okay? Just remember. And I have Georgia plus 800 in my pocket. So me loading up on Alabama today was actually a hedge. I have Georgia plus 800 to win the whole thing in my pocket. So moving on, I would play Lonzo's Bama. No, I'm talking about the SEC championship in college football. I'll check out the college basketball though. Roll Tide. Also, if you guys don't know, Nick Saban doesn't lose to his ex-coordinators. Talk your shit. Let's go. We cashing out on Bama. Let's try and cash out. You guys know. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's do this. So, I would play Lonzo's threes, KD's threes in this game. No play on the winner, everyone. Maybe if a team jumps out there, you can catch a team plus 6, plus 7. On the plus, yeah, he did. You're right. That was rare though. I'm talking about like overall. It's like 30-1, right? Jimbo did beat him. Saban's the GOAT. Saban's the GOAT. Shout out to the betting army. Had to just retweet that. Okay, so pull up some props. I would play Lonzo's threes, maybe with KD's threes. That might be a solid combination. If someone compare that together in the chat, let me know what it becomes. Because I don't want to play Lonzo minus 175 by itself. Zach's threes? I'm not sure about Zach's threes. He's been hitting 2 a lot. We'll come back to this game. Let's move on. I think I spent a lot of time on one game. Apologies to everyone. Hit the like button while you're here as well. I get a little excited when Alabama plays. A little excited, you know? And I'm a Georgia fan. It's so crazy, right? Let's go on to the Bucks and the Heat. An interesting game right here. You can see the odds on sportx.bet. Visit sportx.bet. The Bucks are still minus 6.5 because they gave us the courtesy of at least knowing that Giannis might not play today. Not like the hit job from the other night against the Raptors when it was highway robbery and they took everyone's money. Okay, so today they actually told us. that Giannis might not play, and we're getting an accurate injury report. Kyle Lowry stepped up last night. I think that he was coasting through the beginning of the season. He didn't really have to play too many games, too many minutes. But now he's expecting to not throw the team on his back, but expect to see a much higher usage rate from Kyle Lowry over the next 4 to 6 weeks in the absence of Bam Adebayo and potentially the near-term absence of Jimmy Butler. Expect to see that. Yesterday he attempted 13 threes, okay? When you compare that to the rest of his box scores, it's plus 190. Okay, they're saying that when you combine KD, I don't play parlays, but if you combine KD's over 2.5 with Lonzo's over 2.5, it's plus 190. I kind of like those individually. I didn't bet those. Ask me your questions in the chat. As you guys know, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just trying the best I can. I swear I'm just trying the best I can. And I'll tell you straight up if I like it or not. Tell me what your prop is, your pick. I'll just tell you if I like it or not. I'll tell you if I think it's contrarian, if I think it's public, whatever. It's not always right, but hey, I'll get to Grayson Allen in a second. Just want to make one point about Kyle Lowry, something that we're going to see over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Tonight's a little bit different on the back-to-back, but I feel like the coaching staff told Kyle Lowry that they need him to stay afloat in the East over the next 4 to 6 weeks. They need Kyle Lowry's usage to essentially double. We're going to need. There might be value in his props moving forward. Now, because he popped last night, I'm going to chill on his props, but it's something I'm monitoring after tonight for a bounce-back spot. No play on the total for the Heat and the Bucks because it was priced in with Giannis. If the total was priced in with the spread, it was also priced in with the total, and it might end up being extremely sharp. We're seeing the injury games be extremely sharp with where the final result lands around the total. I won't be surprised if this one hovers right around 212, 211, and you're sweating. I won't go that far. It sounds like you were watching a lot of EuroLeague basketball, bro, to say that. Put me on to some EuroLeague picks. Contrarian side only. Okay, so I'll pull up some stuff on this Heat game. A couple of later tips today, 8 p.m., so we have the luxury of talking about some of these games. Yeah, I think Tyler Hero's points might be a go. Maybe PJ Tucker's threes, if they're listed. Pulling up the odds for everyone. These are leans at the moment. It's crazy. The first 2 games, no official picks. All the picks that I'm about to share are in these next 4 games. Let me just make sure. Yeah, in these next 4 games. Hit the like button for me, everyone. We've got 145 people watching. We really appreciate it. Hit the like button. And if you're watching on Twitter, take a second to subscribe on YouTube if you like what you're seeing. Sorry for the sluggish performance. I'm just trying to get you to accurate odds so I don't say the wrong payout. Letting you know what I would play in this game. I already have some plays, but I'm just letting you know what I would play in this game. Just trying to be fair and reward all the people watching. So we have Tyler Hero's points listed at 22.5. That's really high, but I think he could get it. I think he could get it today, even on the back-to-back. They're really respecting Tyler Hero. Is he consistently hitting this? 1 second. Yeah, I'm experimenting more with the underside. Once I get more familiarity with the 3-point props, I will deploy more under 3-point bets. Okay, there might be just as much action for us on the underside, and we cashed with Patty Mills last night over 3.5 plus 120. I'm gonna take a deeper look into the underside and just give me a few more days. Let's track that as well tonight, Frank. Tucker for 1-3. Okay, let's get the odds. All right, so PJ Tucker for me is not even listed. Maybe it's because he's not gonna play as well. Yeah, it's crazy. I will pull up the tweet, everyone. I will pull up the tweet while we're talking. I have it in my pocket. Tyler Hero, sixth man of the year. I also picked Miles Bridges. I didn't think that he would become a starter, so that's probably going to lose. But those are my only two picks, Miles Bridges and Tyler Hero for sixth man of the year futures in my pocket. Maybe sprinkle that Tyler Hero 22.5 points. No play on his threes, but you could assume that would hit if the points do. Duncan Robinson snapped last night. I forgot who that was in the chat last night who said that. On the Bucks side of things, I'm looking at Pat Connaughton though. Yeah, Pat Connaughton might do his thing today. Might be worth a sprinkle. They're respecting him because of the opening of minutes, because of the departure of Giannis for today. He actually wasn't listed earlier until they ruled Giannis out. But I think a value prop might be Pat Connaughton over 2.5 threes tonight, everyone. Plus 100. Plus 100. I will sprinkle that. Pat Connaughton of the Milwaukee Bucks over 2.5 threes. Just share that with my friends. For me, Pat Connaughton's a value guy at 1.5. It's really juice because of the different amount of lineups. Sometimes he really does play a lot of minutes. I think of Connaughton when it comes to 1.5, over 1.5s, in the same mold as like Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson, really more Cam Johnson of the Phoenix Suns, a guy coming off the bench, utility guy. But when he does come in the game, what does he do? He throws it up. A true 3-and-D guy, Pat Connaughton. And I think that could hit tonight. I would rather get 1.5 at a more juiced number, but 2.5 at plus 100, I'll try it out. I actually just added that pick on the fly on the show, so. That would be it for me in that. I don't have a market for PJ Tucker, but if I did, I would play his over 1.5 threes. I like Tyler Hero's points, but I think it's pretty high at 22 actually. But because of the circumstances, I'm leaning towards believing in it. Let's see if any new injury news came up. DeMarcus Cousins is a game-time decision as well. If he doesn't play, it opens up more opportunities. Even though it can only be 2 or 3 3-point attempts, more shot opportunities for a player like Pat Connaughton. More, that's just how I'm looking at this game. All right, moving on to the Mavericks and the Grizzlies. One of my top plays today was going to be Luka Doncic over 2.5 threes. Okay. On the second night of a back-to-back. I'm glad he's actually out because I would have been wrong if he's actually gassed from last night's game against the Pelicans, which is unimaginable. Straight hit job, but at least they had the decency to tell us early in the day with the Mavs, and not too many people bet Mavs before the news, and they had the decency to tell us at an early hour. It wasn't exactly a hit job, but it still leaves a bad taste in my mouth with the Luka and Porzingis news. Like, come on. But I do have plays in this game. 1 second. Keep them coming, everyone. I'll ride with you. Keep them coming. Pedro, thank you. Frank, thanks. Travis, thanks. No, it's not official. I did sprinkle that Pat Connaughton one just now, though. I put money on that. And just so you know, the picks that I recap on Twitter after the show, those are the ones that I actually put money on, okay? You guys can get a pretty good sense of those at the end of the show, but, or just by hearing, but Just want to share that. But last night, I should have played some of the stuff I was saying. Okay, so Javonte Green has tested positive for COVID-19. The young wing player, he's an up-and-coming player, actually, for the Chicago Bulls. Keep an eye on more news for the Bulls, actually, because it's different from, there's a difference between entering protocols and actually testing positive. So just track the news with the Bulls. He has been in contact with the team. He was just playing the other day. He just played against the Knicks, right? So just keep an eye on the Bulls in the next maybe 24 to 48 hours. I think the Mavericks can still defeat the Grizzlies today without Luka and Porzingis. I like the 1.5, the plus 1.5. Small sprinkle for me, everyone, if you're tailing. Small sprinkle on plus 1.5. I think we get Tim Hardaway and Jalen Brunson to come out and shoot the lights out. This team with the Grizzlies has had a very fortunate schedule so far, being able to play the Raptors, the Kings, and the Thunder, in their current state. And I think that the Mavericks can get this one done, plus 1.5 official for me, sprinkle. I like Tim Hardaway and Jalen Brunson props as well. But my official play in this game as well is, it's juiced, but bet the Desmond Bane over 2.5 threes. It was locked. The market was locked, and then when they ruled Luka out, it shot up to minus 140 or minus 135. But I still like it. It was minus 110, minus 115. Let me pull up what the current odds are. Let's go. Appreciate you guys riding with me, man. Hey, if you guys cash on the Alabama, game today on the plus 6.5, all I ask is you retweet retweet the tweet for me later on Twitter. Retweet it and like it. Just want to give the picks to as many people as possible. I was extremely confident in this today, so you guys see I didn't put a very high output of content out today. Let's go. Desmond Bane over 2.5 threes, everyone. And if you guys can beat me to the odds sometimes, let me know. We're going to get to that Celtics game. I have another play in that Celtics game. Okay, so we have Desmond Bane. It's all the way up to minus 150. Maybe we can find something to combine it with. But I should have played that Bama team total over. I loved it. Yeah, I'm rolling with that Mavs plus 1.5. I think it's a value play because, I've seen Tim Hardaway and Jalen Brunson perform very well in these scenarios without Luka and without Porzingis. I've seen what they can do in a high usage setting. We just need them both to hit their 3-point averages. They're shooting from the 3-point line pretty well. They're shooting the three pretty well, and I like what they can bring to the game tonight in a heightened role. So I'm rolling with the Mavs plus 1.5, and I'm taking Desmond Bane on the Grizzlies side over. It just dropped minus 143. It's fluctuating. I'll just average it out minus 145. It's juiced. Sorry for the lack of value, everyone. But I like that play a lot. RJ said easy fade. Okay. Alex Caruso is a game time decision. His market is not available. I wanted to play his steals again. Let's cash, RJ. Let's cash. Trey, let's cash. More plays coming. Hold on, everyone. I'm excited about this Bama game. Too many screens. My eyes. I need to shave. Roll Tide. Let's go. Who's following me on Twitter? I said that crazy. Come get the college football picks, bro. We went crazy this season. Roll Tide. Shout out to everyone that took the money line. It's not over, though. It's not over. We have to respect Georgia. We have to respect Georgia. We have to respect Georgia. Let's wait. Yo, you guys are really reading my mind today on the three-point props. I'm going to put out a report every day on three-point props, okay? Soon, everyone. Your daily shooters. Your daily list of shooters. Let's go, Bama. Okay, so yeah, I've got Desmond Bane. Let me get back to business, everyone. I get excited sometimes. It's natural, right? It's Saturday. It's Saturday. As you can see, SportX.bet on the screen. Visit SportX.bet, the crypto sportsbook owned by its community. Desmond Bane over 2.5 threes. Was going to play Luka today. I felt Luka was a strong candidate today. But we're going to roll with Desmond Bane. There might be value in Jalen Brunson. Hold on. 1.5 is plus 165. That might be a glitch. It might be a glitch. Jalen Brunson's three-point prop right now is 1.5. Okay? I like that sprinkle. Plus 165. Sprinkle that. Play the Bane more. Play Bane more. Play Bane for more. By necessity, Brunson should hit it. I know his volume is not high, but Brunson should hit that. But official play on Bane. Official play on Bane. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Everyone's asking me about the total because of the lack of Porzingis and lack of Luka and, the chemistry they have on pick and rolls. It tends to make good games go over. They apply a lot of pressure on defenses. We also have a team that's just scored 157? They just beat the Thunder by 73 points? I think it's a strong contrarian play to fade the Grizzlies today. I think it's a strong contrarian play today to fade the Grizzlies. Man, Bama's defense really came to play today. I'm proud of these guys. And I like Georgia. It's blasphemy. Okay, so sprinkle on Bane. Let me move on. But I think on the total for the Mavs and the Grizzlies, I think that, okay, normally without Luka, I would try to take this game to go over. I think Tim Hardaway and Jalen Brunson would push the pace. Kleber, Maxi Kleber. I would lean towards the over, but I'm not going to because it doesn't really make sense with the way I pick with how many points on the surface level the Grizzlies scored. Okay? So no play on the total. That's a boss number. Desmond Bane over 2.5 threes. Let's roll with that. Hopefully he can hit that quick. Hey, the defense is playing well. At least the defense is playing well. I like Bryce Young, though. I think Bryce Young still has he has a bright future. Okay, moving on. Warriors, Spurs. I want to bet the Warriors -9 on the second night of a back-to-back. I say this every time, that essentially I'm missing out on the trend. I might be at the end of the ride, then they cover again. Okay, they handled their business last night, the Golden State Warriors. If you were watching right here, I essentially said the Warriors are going to win tonight. Sometimes you're not only going up against your opponent, but you're going up against the schedule as well. I respect the Warriors highly. Steph Curry is my favorite player. They handled their business last night like they were supposed to. I picked a spot with the Suns first quarter. Didn't come through. Are they going to have that same intensity on the next night? This Spurs team is playing very good basketball, but at the same time, I just don't think they can. If Curry's in, I don't think they can mess with the Warriors point blank. For me, it's Warriors or nothing on a Saturday night. I think, but just watch out that young core with White, with Murray. Murray is becoming a statistical monster at the moment. He's blossomed into a statistical monster. For me, it's Warriors or nothing in this one. But my play is Jordan Poole over 2.5 threes. If you have a Steph Curry that somewhat diminishes his intensity tonight, then Jordan Poole's usage should increase. He should let it fly. He should let it fly on the second night of a back-to-back. I'm projecting Jordan Poole to hit 3+ threes tonight and attempt at least 7 threes tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. They do have a couple of lengthy defenders, but maybe the Spurs are going to try to impose their will pace-wise. It's their only chance at victory today is to try to impose their will when it comes to pace. I think shooters will benefit from that today, whether the Spurs are good with the points or not. Okay, so my shooter in this game is Jordan Poole over 2.5 threes. I'm playing that. Roll Tide. And I lean towards the Warriors to cover. That's a pretty easy common sense pick, I believe, but there's nothing easy, nothing common sense when it comes to the NBA. This is a whirlwind, and you're playing a team that is rising slightly. Although the trajectory is not the same as the Warriors because of their personnel, the Spurs are playing high quality basketball, So maybe they compete early. And then the Warriors just become the Warriors in the third quarter Warriors tonight. But I do envision maybe the Spurs competing early in this game. Let's see some other things on the Warriors side on the second night of a back-to-back. The 19-3 Golden State Warriors. Shout out to them for handling their business against this Phoenix Suns team. I know Mikal Bridges got hurt for a couple of quarters or quarter, and Devin Booker wasn't there, but they still silenced a pretty good team. Hopefully we see them play at full strength in the future. That would be good for all basketball fans, I believe. Got Clay coming back. Hopefully Devin Booker's there. It's just good systems going against each other. Two teams that do not take the regular season lightly. Chris Paul could have just rested last night. Some of those old Spurs teams, some of the LeBron teams in the past, they could have just said, forget the fans, and they wouldn't have even played last night. Chris Paul, 36 years old, turning 37, didn't even have to play last night, I swear. So, yeah, there are more markets for the Warriors tonight than were available when I capped the games. So let's see if I can find value for everyone. I'll give it a try. Hit the like button too, everyone. If you're rocking with the NBA tonight, betting on some NBA games, they crushed it. It's -145 for me. They crushed it. Let's see if we can find something to pair that with, Sean. That got steamed. See, I would rather, when it crosses -150, I'd rather for them to increase the actual solid number and give us plus money. Maybe you can hit over 3.5, Sean. Maybe you can crank it up, boost it. Maybe you can dramatically reduce your bet size and take over 3.5 instead, which I'm about to pull up right now. Jordan Poole over 3.5 threes, boosted. I'm going to look at the same thing for Desmond Bane, by the way. So Jordan Poole to hit 4 threes tonight is +140. I like it. I'm going to mute the mic while I take a 10-second call, okay? Okay, I'm back. So if hopefully you can hear me now. Just took a quick phone call, and yeah, I like Jordan Poole at over 2.5 at the number I got it at, which is -140, -145 actually. Correction, but I do like the boosted number as well, over 3.5 at +140. It might make sense. Maybe dramatically reduce the bet size and take the plus money. Try the risk. Second night of a back-to-back, maybe you get a less intense Steph Curry, a less intense Draymond Green, where some of the role players like Jordan Poole, who's becoming a star, and Gary Payton II can sort of take over. That's a scenario I see tonight. Jordan Poole let it fly against the Spurs. I liked Seth Curry's points. I like the points that lost. I like the threes yesterday that hit. I don't like it today. I'm just going to chill on Steph tonight. against the Spurs. We can move on from that game, actually. Subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this link on Twitter, take 2 seconds, hit that button at the top, and subscribe on YouTube. And hit the like button for us on NBA betting today. Just trying to win some tickets, just want to win some money. Want to win some money watching the NBA games. What do I think about your parlay of the Bulls +3, Bucks -5, Grizzlies +6, Warriors -7, and Celtics -1, and Kings +1.5? I think the Celtics could get it done. Not sure about the Kings, though. Not sure about the Kings. We're going to get to that game after the Blazers game. I have a play to add for the Blazers game. I won't spend too much time on the Blazers-Celtics game. Some injury reports, like madness taking place. But Bulls +3, that's the side I lean in the game tonight, Bulls +3. I did not place a bet. I want to ride with my dog HK. HK Flex, 6 side. And maybe I'll do that by the time the game comes on. Have some action locked. And but I do lean towards the Bulls. The Bucks, I lean towards the Bucks. I think they could take advantage. Bobby Portis could have a better role tonight against this undermanned Miami Heat team on a back-to-back. I like the Bucks. I like the Bucks. The Grizzlies, I'm not sure. I don't know where you got +6. Oh, you got it from earlier. If you got the earlier number, why not? But I like the Mavs +1.5. Okay? The Warriors -7. Looks like you got good numbers, bro. You got good numbers. And the Celtics, I'm not sure about the Grizzlies on the new spread. I'm not sure about the Kings. That's just me. Yeah, I was looking at maybe Chris Middleton over 2.5 threes at +110. Didn't play it. It's on the short list. I think the Bucks can cover tonight. Now that it's priced in and the public put their bread on the Heat because they know that Giannis is not out, you might be on the right side of the number if you bet it earlier in the day. It's -7 now, though. They're disrespecting the Heat a bit. I'm going to wrap this stream up soon, everyone. Hopefully Bama can hold on. I'll talk my shit, count my money, move on to the next one. Because Georgia is threatening to turn this into a game right now. It's still a game. Moving on to the Celtics and the Blazers. Moving on to the Celtics and the Blazers. We have the Celtics at +1 now. It's another one of those games that have flipped from -1 to +1 because of the injury news. Jaylen Brown is out. He is out. I'm pulling up new injury news right now as well, just in case we have some new stuff. Yeah, so I like, shout out to Simba Bets as well, putting me on this trend at the earlier onset. In this game, I like Marcus Smart's not three-pointers, his assists. Marcus Smart assists. Pulling it up right now. Yeah, it's juiced though. The market has, there's no value in this, but I do see value in combining it maybe with Lonzo's threes. Over 5.5 assists to me is a good play. It's just that you have to pay for it. You know, you have to pay for it. But you know you're not paying anything if the bet wins. I like Marcus Smart over 5.5 assists. But that's not my official play in this game. My official play in this game is. Make sure the number didn't change. I'm sprinkling. It's a smaller bet than the Bane one and the Jordan Poole one. CJ McCollum over 3.5 threes. CJ McCollum over 3.5 threes +105. I'm playing that for a smaller bet. I'll call it a smaller bet. Appreciate you, Mark. Let me look at Nurkic, Pedro. Yeah, Nurkic could be a go as well. You know, Nurkic points could be a go as well. He only played 23 minutes the other day against the Spurs, but it was a blowout. His services were not necessarily needed. I think it's a good play, Nurkic points, okay? But is it a good number, though? Is it a good number? Over 14.5? It's tough. I lean towards that, though. I think it's a strong play. Best of luck with that. I think it's a good play. I don't like the under. I'll say I would not bet the under. Sorry to sound like a politician, but CJ McCollum, smaller bet, over 3.5 threes, and this one plus 105, everyone. Rolling with it. I will tweet some plays out on Twitter. And I'm going to have to get off the stream in a second. I have some people coming back to the crib, and I'm going to have to let them in downstairs, and it would take too long for me to go all the way downstairs. I live way up, like way up, so I'm not going to do you guys like that for 4 or 5 minutes. We're going to talk Kings, Clippers, a couple more plays to add, and then we'll move into tomorrow for NBA betting today, some NFL as well. I'll begin capping tomorrow's games. Hopefully we'll just keep winning. I'm rambling now. Let's get to the Clippers and the Kings. So I lean towards the Clippers. The Kings just beat them the other day. They tricked me that day. I thought Paul George would play that night, and he didn't. Last night he comes back. They beat the Lakers on national TV. Oh, it was not on national TV. Sorry, it was up here in Canada. In this game though, I want to run it back with Reggie. Reggie caused economic damage last night. Reggie Jackson shot very flat. But in this game, I have a light bet on the under, a small bet on the under 219.5. And then I bet a normal bet on Paul George over 2.5 threes. Okay? Poor performance last night against the Lakers. Much better defensive matchup with the backcourt of the Kings last night. Less intensity in tonight's game on a back-to-back. He is in the game. He's going to play. Was not at his most efficient level last night. I can see him turning it up another notch today against the Kings from behind the arc, okay? From the three-point line. So I'm going to add that, everyone. Paul George over 2.5 threes. It's a much better price than the other three-point props. It's a much better price. I think it's minus 110. Oh, it's up to minus 125 now. Okay, things are getting steamed. Maybe play that before it gets steamed further. I like Paul George over 2.5 threes. It's rare that you get a high-volume player like him, franchise guy, at 2.5. Just want to say that. Facts. Now, I'm on like the 40th floor for real, though. Close to it. I lean towards Chicago. In that game. It's tough, though. Haven't had too much success on the Nets side backing them. And the Bulls are definitely a wave. I think that their offensive efficiency is very high. Hopefully they can get Caruso in the game, but it is slight revenge for the Nets. You know, they just lost to them. They're saying that they want to play these guys. I know KD said it. So that's why I didn't endorse it right now. But I do like Lonzo's threes in this game and KD's threes in this game. Both at two. KD's is only like Kevin Durant's are only like minus 110. But Lonzo's threes are heavily juiced. I'll check that for you right now. Those were leans though. Gonna watch that game for a live betting opportunity. Actually, might be a good game to watch. Yeah, 2.5 threes. It's come down. At the beginning of the show, it was minus 170. The prop markets are fluctuating, everyone. It was minus 170. It came down to minus 156. So I like his threes in the game. Lonzo Ball over 2.5. I like Kevin Durant's threes in the game, over 2.5. So I'm going to list the picks that I did bet on today. I like small bets on the Clippers and Kings under 219.5, and a small bet on a sprinkle actually on CJ McCollum over 3.5 threes made at plus 105. I am taking Paul George over 2.5 threes made. Jordan Poole over 2.5 threes made. Desmond Bane over 2.5 threes made. And I like Marcus Smart over 5.5 assists. And what's the other one that I added from the Miami game? Did I just not list my own play? Hold on. I'm talking too fast. Oh, it was just a lean. Yeah, I sprinkled Pat Connaughton. I sprinkled Pat Connaughton over 2.5 threes at plus 105. So I have a lot of three-point action tonight. Going to be watching these shooters tonight in the NBA. Then I have a bet on the Mavericks plus 1.5. Another sprinkle on Jalen Brunson over 1.5 threes at plus 165. Although the market price is actually scaring me on that one. I think it might just be wrong, but I'm willing to take the risk on that one. Okay? But the ones that I like the best, and I lean towards the Clippers winning. I might tweet that out, everyone. Just don't want any funny business with these Clippers. We know Paul George is playing. I just want to make sure I lean towards the Clippers to win this game tonight. I lean towards the Celtics to win the game tonight. I lean towards the Warriors to cover the game tonight. I lean towards the Dallas Mavericks plus 1.5. I lean towards the Bucks to cover, although the number was much better at the earlier juncture. This might be a schedule loss for the Heat, and I lean towards the Chicago Bulls. Although the Nets might be motivated in this game, I'm more comfortable taking the Chicago Bulls at a higher price. In theory, they're telling us that this game would be a 50-50 game on a neutral court. They're starting to disrespect the Nets. You know, the Nets, they're going to enter a period where they do cover a lot of games in a row. But let's see it. Let's see it. Leans for me. Lonzo Ball over 2.5 threes. I lean towards Marcus Smart over 5.5 assists. I lean towards Kevin Durant over 2.5 threes. I'm throwing it out there so you guys can pause and come right back. It's NBA betting today. I'll tweet out a time for tomorrow's show. Make sure you hit the like button. Always try to have fun with it. Don't bet a lot on one game. Don't go beyond your means as well. Some people can bet more than others. If losing one of these bets is going to cause you to lose sleep at night, or to be mad the next day, and you're still thinking about the loss the next day financially, then reduce the amount that you're betting on. Make it more fun and worthwhile for yourself. And if you have it like that, which is perfectly fine if you don't, then increase your bet size. But I just don't want anyone to not like the game of basketball because they're losing bets. You know, it's kind of crazy right now. It's probably only going to get worse the more and more legalization that we see. We're seeing erratic results in the live betting markets. I want everyone to win. Let's get it today, everyone. We'll move on to tomorrow on the Sunday slate. And I have some stuff to talk about the Lakers as well and how they've been doing covering in the first quarter of the season. So maybe we can get together and talk about that as well. Shout out to everyone that's watching NBA betting today. I'm going to get off this, eat some food, get ready to watch the games. I'll tweet some of the plays out. And that's it. That's it. You enjoy your Saturday, everyone. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Let's go.